start treatment essentially straight away.
Straight away.
How? Like what happened at that time?
So we went home. We were in the hospital for about a week, and I had said I need another week, and they were like, no time. There's no time for you to have another week. Like I just, it's funny. You sort of, even though I can hear everyone telling me it's urgent, part of you just wants to bury your head in the sand. Like I need another week. I'd like a month. What if I have a quick holiday first? Like you're just desperate to not be thrust into the reality of what's about to happen, And in a way, I think that's where your doctors are amazing, when they just say, no, you actually just have to start now. I think a couple of days after I got home, they were like, okay, it's time for chemo. And it was so shit. I remember just being in the car crying, saying to Marcus, so unfair. Like I'm having to leave Annabelle at home, and it's funny because I would notice a lot of stuff. You're driving and you see people pushing prams, or you see mums at the park, or you see all the things that you're not doing that you want to. Normal life. You're like, I would kill to do chores. What I would give to like take the baby to the supermarket and get milk and bread, or stuff like that. So I went and did chemo, and it was worse than anything you can possibly imagine. It was, I had the cancer that I had is like triple negative. So you can have hormone cancers, and there's 3 different kinds of hormones, or you can have the one that I had, which is negative to all of the hormones. So when people say, oh, it's because of IVF with all the hormones, or it was because of, hormones in chicken, or people, there's all these kind of myths that run around. The cancer that I had, it was negative to hormones. It's got nothing to do with hormones, and it's a rarer kind of breast cancer. It's like 15% of people get it. And 5 years ago, most of them died because they didn't have anything, they had no treatment for it. Basically what they used to do is they did the same treatment for the hormone one and hoped it worked, and it didn't work. So it's only been in the last few years, which is very fortunate for me, that they've got a different kind of treatment. Doesn't always work, does work, doesn't work, and that's the thing. And because I had been pregnant, it was massive. So obviously my body, in the same way it helps the baby grow, it had helped obviously the tumour to grow. So you sit down for chemo, and it's 6 hours of this shit just being poured into your body, and it's so painful. And it's funny, you go in 6 hours, you go through every emotion there is, we're all there. Marcus is there, my sister's there, my mum and dad were there, and it's tears, it's and then you're laughing at the absurdity of it, and then you're it's a roller coaster, and then that just becomes your life. You go to chemo.
And how often would you have to have it?
So in the beginning, it was every kind of 3 weeks. So for the first week, you can barely move, and then it sort of starts to subside a little bit, and then you're sort of feeling, when I say better, I mean, you're not on the floor, wishing it was over. And then just as you come out, it's time for the next one. And what happens is, as it goes on, the frequency increases, and you also start to you're working off a lower base. So the first one's the best one because you're the healthiest you've been. And then as the chemo slowly, because chemo, it can't separate out what's the tumour and what's your body. It just kills everything, right? So and that's why your hair falls out, your nails fall off, all that kind of stuff. So it just kills your body. So slowly you start working off a lower base and a lower base and a lower base. So you're sicker and sicker before you even begin the chemo. And I did it for about, I don't know, maybe like 7-8 months. I can't remember how many cycles, At one point I was going every day. It was just every day. You just went and you just sat in the chair, and I don't know. Like it got to the point where in the end I was like it's funny, the first one everyone comes, and then after a while you're like, don't come everyone. This is the norm. Like don't anyone bother coming. It's so shit. It's like I don't want to put you through it.